Hey mamas, and welcome to the Entering Motherhood podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Marie Bilger, a wife, mom of two, VBAC mama, and doula. Join us every episode to learn from professionals, special guests, and moms just like you, ensuring that you know what you need to know and discover things that you didn't know before. I believe in you. Let's doula this, and let's navigate the transition of entering motherhood together. Hey mama, this is another episode of the Entering Motherhood podcast. This specifically is a doula talk episode, which if you don't know, we go live on Instagram every Tuesday around 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And by we, I mean me and Caitlin, who is the co-creator of our signature Own Your Birth childbirth education course. Please go look at that if you are looking for a childbirth education course. It's our signature Own Your Birth self-led online comprehensive course, and it is just packed with all the information that you will need to be able to feel informed and empowered as you navigate this stage of pregnancy and leading into birth and even the postpartum period. So we are so excited about that course, and we have been chatting and having these doula talks to provide you with more information to really own your birth and have information that maybe you didn't know or refresh your memory on things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you ever have any topics that you feel like you would want to add or hear, if you have any questions, then please reach out to us and let us know so that we can include it in these episodes and in these conversations that we are having for you to really feel informed and empowered. So let's get this episode started. And welcome to another Tuesday doula talk. We're going to have Caitlin join us, hopefully here in a second. Let's see if she can come on here, but we're going to be talking about social media and new mothers and the effects that it can kind of have on us and what that's like. Oh, there she is.
Oh,
I
hi.
see you.
Hi.
I was like, wait, hold on. There she is.
Well, I was like, let me just try one more time. Woo!
Cool. All right. Well, we are both here now. So yay.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Playing with some different features.
Right. I was like, oh, what's just over there? I'm trying to get it to connect through my headphones, but it's not doing that.
Yeah. I upgraded my phone, and so I have to get a new little mic because it has a different adapter now. But cool. So we're talking about social media and new mothers, the good, the bad, the everything in between, and what that can kind of look like. So I don't know if you want to start. I feel like I have a lot and plenty to say about this topic, but we can kind of just...
Yeah, I can definitely start. You know, I also have a lot to say about it because it's something that I struggle with myself. And just know, like, it's so easy to get into that, oh, I'm feeding the baby, we're just sitting here nursing. Let me scroll through Instagram or scroll through Facebook. And then you start down this spiral. And I say this from being there. And like, I feel like, you just see all these perfect houses and all these perfect, what appears to be perfect moms. And you're just like, well, I'm nothing like that. And then you start going down like this comparison journey. And something that I have to remind myself is A, their life's not perfect. You're just seeing the highlight reel. And B, like, even though it may appear to be that everything is, so nice and perfect, like, you don't get the whole picture. And on top of that, like, they're cherry picking what they want you to see. So, like, and also, like, I think I might have just said it, but something that I have literally had to repeat to myself all the time is like, comparison is a thief of joy. And when you just sit there and compare and compare and compare, like, you're never gonna live up to your everyday life is never gonna be somebody's highlight reel. It's just, it's not. And so, you see every second, every minute of your day to day, and you're comparing that. And it's just never gonna live up. So that's one of my biggest things is it's
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
you
And
just have
I
to
think to that too, it's kind of like, what are you feeling and how are you kind of like going through social media? Like if you find yourself scrolling and you're feeling those feelings, then maybe step off, maybe take a break. But if you're going through and you're feeling inspired, you're finding a lot of useful information, like it's being, what some people really try for it to be, then like stay on it. Like I have found so many helpful resources through social media and
Mhm.
have been able to connect with so many people on here. So it's like what are you searching for when you are scrolling? Like let's say you're nursing your baby or you're just exhausted and you're super pregnant and you're laying there and you're scrolling and you're looking and you're like, what am I even on here for? Like put the phone down, like look around, like what is your family doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, where are you? And I feel like it's like, it can be a super useful tool. Like, we have been able to connect and talk on here and do these talks and everything. And hopefully it's like a good resource for a lot of people. But also, yeah, if you're like, well, that's not me, like, I'm not there. Like, how are they, keeping up with the laundry? How are they having perfectly clean rooms. Like that's like yesterday, it was a holiday. My husband was off work. We're like all home. It's officially summer for Rosie, our oldest. And we just cleaned like a whole bunch. We deep cleaned Rosie's room. Like I got like a new bedspread, like all of this stuff. And then it was like the playroom though was still like destroyed. So it's like, four rooms are perfectly clean, but then like two rooms are a mess. Like, and like there's like
Yeah.
tumbleweeds of dog hair flying around but I like reorganized my office. I like got to do like a lot of
Mhm.
work on the computer because like my husband was with the kids. Like it's just kind of like, yeah, like taking it for like what it is and realizing like, okay, like this space might be like perfectly curated and that's where they're taking all their videos or something. But like everywhere else, like you don't know what that looks like. So like really just kind of like taking that into account and like realizing and like I mean, hey, like I've even tried to do like those like day in the life videos and stuff and I'm like all over the place and then I'm like I'm not going to post this because like it doesn't look like perfectly curated, but it's like those people that like are used to doing this and this is like their job and what they're like doing on a day to day, like they've perfected that. They've learned how to make it look like very visually appealing. And so it's like one of those things where hopefully Caitlin and I are like a breath of fresh air and we're like very like, real and honest with you because that's like where we want to be and like where we want to come from. But there can be a lot of like mixed emotions, things going on. That's like one thing, like we're taking summer off from doing these doula talks because we want to be more intentional over the summer with our family. We want to be like more present with them and just, be able to do all the summer things. We're traveling a lot. And so like we're not going to be here for, 3 weeks at a time. But but yeah, I think it's just like a reminder to really see how you're feeling when you're on the platforms and then be able to like bring that awareness to it if you need to jump off or if you need to dive deeper.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you ever need somebody like social media person or whatever, I'm not an influencer by any means, but like my reels, my everything is so messy. And I'm just like, you know what? This is how life is. So if you ever need somebody to just sit down and real with you, just come check me out. Like it's just how it is, life with toddlers is a whole new experience.
Yeah.
But and also I'd camper life into that. But it's a lot. So definitely, like you were saying, Sarah, just see how you're feeling. If you're feeling burned out and tired and like you're just comparing every second, maybe take a step But if it is inspiring, by all means, go for it. And I did want to share something that's really helped me with like the doom scroll, I guess you could say, is like just setting app timers.
Mm.
Like that has become a new friend because I'll set app timers for like Facebook and Instagram and different apps that I find myself just wasting a lot of time on. And that way it's like you can still do this. Like, you enjoy doing it for a small amount of time, but then after, 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it is, then it's done. It's time
Yeah.
to get off, and it's just a reminder that like you've spent enough time on here today. You don't need any more today, you know? And so I've noticed that that has helped a lot
Yeah.
with just wasting time, but also like my mental health as well, because then I'm not sitting there just scrolling and comparing and trying to find, whatever for hours on end.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it too. Like, I mean, I think, especially as new moms, if you're, newly pregnant, there's a lot of stuff that you're just trying to figure out and like find people that relate to you and things like that. And that's where like you can really get all of these like mixed different, opinions and conversations and somebody saying this is best and somebody saying that's better and like this product, that product, like all of these like different ways that you can birth and different things that you can have and how things need to be and what milestones you should be hitting and all of these different things. And there is so many different opinions, there's so many different options, there's so many different things that are just kind of like circulating and floating around that, that's why like also Caitlin and I created our course, that it was like, hey, look, here is the mainstream line of all of these different kind of options and possibilities, but it's a consolidated place that you can take all of that information and design what you want your motherhood to look like, what you want your
Yep.
birth to be like. And I feel like when we're able to really process our pregnancy and go through like how we want that to look like, and then we relate that to like what we want our birthing experience to be like, even if it doesn't turn out like that specific way. Like that's like one thing I think you and I really hit home on, because like
Yeah.
we know personally that things don't always go according to plan. And so like
Yeah.
really bringing that mindset into it and saying like, hey, this is like my hopes and dreams and desires. These are my preferences. But if it doesn't go that way, how am I going to be able to mentally, and physically get through all of this?
Yeah.
And really, really laying out that groundwork, because then when you step into motherhood and you become a parent, there's going to be a lot of different things that are like happening and going on. Like maybe you wanted to breastfeed and your supply just didn't come in that well. And you tried like all the different, tools and resources, lactation consultants, like all of these different things. And it just didn't pan out the way that like you envisioned. And so it really is coming back to that mindset, coming back to that, like groundingness of it and saying like, okay, how can we pivot from here? How can we move on to still have that same feeling and that same experience that we were really hoping for? And
Yeah.
so like, that's what we, really want and like want to like explain and show you and like have you be able to like own your birth so that you can own your motherhood, own like, all different aspects of it. And it just kind of like continuously flows,
Yeah.
because
And I
there's
think that's
always going
something.
to be something.
Yeah. There really is. There's always going to be something. But I really think that that's something that I love about our course so much is we've been so intentional about making it like the one-stop shop. And each lesson and module is broken down into these like adjustable nuggets. And it's just so convenient, I feel like. And there's handouts, there's the community, there's all these different aspects that just truly make our course unique and different. And I really love it.
Yeah. And you don't have to go to Google to get answers. Like Caitlin and I are very quick to respond. You can go in the Facebook community, put a message. If we don't respond, maybe somebody else will. And it just kind of, is going to be this like big, expansive community that we really just keep pouring into.
Yeah.
And like, I'm always like reading new books and like learning and listening to things. So is Caitlin. Like our knowledge just keeps expanding. And we are just continuously pouring all of that into the course. This is like, a lifetime thing that you get to join. And if you never want to leave and you want to hang out with us, even like far into postpartum, like we're here for it. Because,
Yes.
you don't know if you're going to have more babies or what that's going to look like or how things are going to change. And like, I just feel like you're always kind of continuously in that like postpartum period because you're just on that next stage.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
And part of me is kind of sad that this is our last one for a little bit, but also like I'm excited to take a break and be with our families for a little, just like spend that extra amount of time with our families.
Yeah. 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 And I'm sure we'll still be, kicking out some other content and getting things going. All of these doula talks will be on the Entering Motherhood podcast and available for you to listen to in that way. So if, you're catching this a little later or, you don't want to have Instagram open because social media, you can like hop in, the podcast and listen to episodes there. So yeah, we have enjoyed doing this for a while now. I'd have to like go back and see when we started, but this is like the first intentional break that we're taking.
We've been doing them at least like 9 months.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope everyone has a great summer and we will see y'all in August.
Yes. See ya.
Bye.
Thank you, mamas, so much for listening. Remember, you are a rock star. I believe in you. Let's doula this. Let's crank it up a notch and let's kick it into high gear together. Hit that subscribe button, share this episode with a friend, message me, email me, call me, beat me. You know how to reach me. We're doing this, mamas. I am so excited to catch you here next week. This is your one-stop go-to place for helping you find the resources you need to make the best choices for you and your family during pregnancy, birth, and most importantly, postpartum. See you later, mamas.